Hi friends, let's make a monster parade. I like to think about emotions, our feelings, as being like monsters going by in a parade. There goes my sad monster. So we have all kinds of feelings, and they come and they go. Just like when we're watching a parade, things come and they go. And they're all there for a reason. So we want to get to know the monsters that show up in our parade. So we're going to make a parade today. A few things before we get started. First, let's decide where you're going to parade. So look around you and pick a place where you know you can still see and hear me give instructions. So maybe you're just going to go back and forth in a spot near the screen or around in a circle, but it's especially important that you can hear me when I give instructions. And also, for our parade right now, we're going to do a silent monster parade so that, again, you can hear me. Now, once we've done our parade together, maybe you decide to do a parade with your friends or family, and then you can decide if maybe you want the monsters in your parade to have sound. That's totally fine. But for this first time, we're going to do it silently so you can hear me. So I am going to tell you an emotion, a feeling, and then we're going to parade around like that feeling, and then I'm going to say, freeze. And I want you to freeze like that emotion. So maybe like that angry monster. We're going to freeze and start to notice how it feels in your body when that monster's been there. And then we're going to take a breath. And the breath we're going to use is called feel the breath. So let's do one now. When we breathe in through our noses. We could even touch our nose if we'd like to remind ourselves. We breathe in, and when we breathe out, we feel the breath on our hand. We blow out. So let's do one more. Breathing in and out. And after we do our breath, I'll tell you the next emotion that we're going to parade around like. All right? Now, after we do our parade, we're also going to do a little craft activity. And so if you want to join me in doing that, I'll tell you when we're done what supplies you need. You can even stop the video, go get the supplies, and come on back. All right, so let's start our parade. Let's begin by parading like an angry monster. Parade around like you're feeling really angry. Freeze. Notice how your body feels when you're angry. I notice my hands get tight. I feel tight in my chest. Maybe my breathing isn't the same. And now let's take a breath. Breathing in and out. Next, let's parade like we're an excited monster. All right, parade around like you're really excited. Remember, we're doing it silently so you can hear me say freeze. Freeze. Notice, how does it feel in your body when you're excited? When the excited monster's in your parade? I notice I feel a lot of energy in my body when I feel excited. And now let's take a breath. Breathe in through the nose and out. And now let's parade like we're a sad monster. Remember, I had my sad monster. And freeze. So you might notice, how does it feel in your body when you're feeling sad? My body feels a little heavy and slow when I notice how I'm feeling sad. And let's take our breath. Feel the breath in through the nose and out. And now how about parading like a scared monster? You're worried or scared about something. What would that be like? And freeze. Notice, how does it feel in your body when you're feeling scared or worried? My belly kind of feels a little swirly when I notice that I'm feeling a little worried or scared. Let's take a breath in and out. And now we're going to shift, and I'm going to tell you some examples of things that might happen. And we're going to maybe name the emotion that we might be feeling, and I'll tell you what I would be feeling in those situations, but you can think about how you would feel and parade like that monster. So, let's imagine that we just found out our best friend was moving away. What monster might be in the parade then? For me, I think it would be sad. It would be a sad monster. How about you? For some of us, we could feel hurt or even angry. Many of us might feel sad. So let's parade like whatever monster you would notice if you found out your friend was moving. And freeze. Notice how your body feels. And then we're going to take our breath in and out. And let's do a silly one. Let's parade as if we were a king or a queen. So first, notice, what do you think that might feel like to be a king or a queen? I think I would feel confident, right? Like I was sort of good at something or special. So notice, how might you feel being a king or a queen? And then let's parade like that, parading like a king or queen, maybe waving to your pretend royal subjects. And freeze. Notice how that feels in your body. I notice I feel like I stand up a little taller. I feel kind of strong in my body when I imagine that I'm a king or a queen. And let's take our breath. And here's our last one. Let's imagine that we're going to be spending time with someone we love. How would that feel? What would that emotion be like? For me, it would feel cozy. I would feel happy and calm. How would you feel? Let's parade like that, like you're about to spend time with someone you love. And freeze. Notice how that feels in your body. My body feels sort of soft and warm when I imagine being with someone that I love. So we start to notice all the monsters that could go by, right? This monster, maybe this monster, sometimes more than one go by at a time, and that's okay too. And we start to learn how they feel in our bodies. No monster is bad or wrong. And when we start to notice them in our bodies, we can start to name them and notice them more quickly. And we can practice taking good care of them. Some ways we can take good care of them are by taking a breath, right? So we did feel the breath. Just saying the name of the monster. Oh, that's a worried monster going by. I'm feeling worried. Just naming it can help. Sometimes maybe we want to talk to a grown-up, or maybe we even want to get a hug or give ourselves a hug. And now we're going to do our craft. So for our craft, you could have either a piece of paper and crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything to draw with, Or you could use an index card, and we could also use with that index card a popsicle stick or even a pencil. We're going to make it into a puppet. So here's my angry monster puppet. So I just used a pencil and a piece of tape and an index card, or if you have a popsicle stick. But if you don't have these things, that's totally fine. We could also just draw our monster on a piece of paper. So I want you to imagine what monster comes to visit you a lot that maybe you have a harder time with. So it could be angry or sad or worried or maybe embarrassed, right? You did something, you think everybody's looking at you. Maybe it's that you're feeling bored, right? That can be another one that can be a little tricky. So think about what monsters might get kind of tricky when they're in your parade and draw a picture of it. What does it look like? How big is it? What color is it? If you could touch it, what might it feel like? And you could even think when it's going in your parade, how does it move? Fast or slow? Does it dart all around? Does it just kind of go one straight line? So imagining your monster, drawing a picture of your monster, and then once you have your picture or your puppet, you can also practice when you notice that. You could notice and say, oh, I see you, angry monster. It's okay that you're here, right? Angry is totally okay. And we don't have to jump in the parade with it. We can notice it and ask it, how can I take good care of you? Doing those things that we mentioned before. We might even write on the back of our card some of the ways we could take good care of ourselves when that monster is in our parade, or we can write it on the picture that we drew. Thank you so much for doing a monster parade with me today, and I hope that you continue to practice noticing the monsters that go by in your parade and maybe doing some pictures to remind you of ways that you can get to know your monsters and take special good care of yourself and your monsters when they're in your parade. Bye for now.